it's frowned upon to like have a sugar daddy or like date for money or like date rich men, but it's not the other way around. Like when you date broke men and like you're struggling.
A lot of workplaces love putting black women in leadership positions after everything has completely fallen apart.
So today I walk in, being a black woman, I got new hair, you in corporate. She's like, oh, you must be new. I said, no, I've been here 3 years.
No, only ELT can sit in the front. I'm sorry, do you guys own the plane?
I do feel like, I have a little bit of an issue just because I'm going in and I'm interviewing with a lot of women.
In corporate America, the only way to win is to be vocal.
We should do this every day, twice a day. We should get together twice a day.
This video is for you. Do not skip it. Do not pass it. The video I saw the other day that I tried to stitch, but I had to take it down because it wasn't recording properly. But the subject was a lady was getting feedback in her corporate meetings, basically saying that she was appearing more junior than what she really is. And she wanted to know how she could fix this. I'm going to tell you the single most important thing that I realized about 5 years ago that changed my life. If you don't know, I worked in corporate America for 11 years across various brands, East Coast, New York brands, local brands in Texas. So I have a plethora of experience. In corporate America, the only way to win is to be vocal. It doesn't matter how many great ideas are up here. If they don't come out of here, it will not translate into dollars. It will not translate into promotions. It will not translate into you getting what you deserve. You will not get ahead if you're not vocal. As far as being forthcoming, communicating, doing those group type of discussions in person, a lot of us shy away from that. A lot of black women feel uncomfortable in corporate spaces for reasons that I won't even go into because this video is not long enough. But what I want to say to you is what I realized is that I was in rooms time and time again, and I realized I was the smartest person because of the ideas other people were bringing to the table, but I was not getting ahead. I was being underpaid 2, 3, 4 times the amount because I was not vocal. I want you to dig deep here because you deserve to get paid for the ideas up in here. Sometimes the pay disparity isn't just because of statistics and all these analysis. Sometimes it's because we are not being vocal. As a people, we are not being vocal. We're not sending the email. We're not raising our hand in meetings. Questioning how do you go about this? Everything in corporate has a formula. Know that there is a formula. You don't have to change your ideas, but it does have to be formulated in a way that is digestible for corporate America. So listen in on those calls in the email. How does your boss, how do the people who are being praised and who are getting promoted, how do they vocalize their ideas? Is it a 3-pronged approach? Do they give 3 supporting ideas and then give what they think the result is going to be? You need to follow that format and ingest your ideas into the flow. That is what needs to happen immediately for you to start seeing results and getting where you need to be in corporate America.
Now, of course, the video is not about her, right? The video is going to be about the next lady. But I'll tell you this. This lady was quite aggressive to me, right? How was that? The way you're talking, the way you're framing your words, that's what a man would need to do, right? Be vocal. I'm not trying to say you belong in the kitchen. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is you have to turn that on, right? So, but this next one, the guy, the job, didn't bring this lady on because she was too aggressive. It's getting that bad. And I'll tell you what it is. Let me show the video.
Used to work for Jefferies and is now CFO. And with his investment banking background and just overall career experience in finance, he told me that I am showing up maybe a little bit too militant to my interviews. He asked me, have you ever worn a ponytail or a bun with glasses to an interview? And I kind of mentioned, I was like, no, I usually just do contacts and I wear my hair down and a little bit of lip gloss, nothing too crazy, heels and a nice suit put together. And he was kind of just like, interesting. And I told him I've been having an issue. I mean, I think the market's rough, but I do feel like, I have a little bit of an issue just because I'm going in and I'm interviewing with a lot of women and less men and a lot of white women at that. And he kind of was like, maybe you're coming off as a threat, maybe tone down your look a little bit more for your next interview and see how that works for you, how that plays out. And I thought about that and I was like, it's interesting to hear that from another man and another white man. I'm gonna try and see, has anyone ever done this or played down their look or felt the need that they had to play down their look to land a role? What is the protocol for finance interviews? Like, what is the protocol for showing up a certain way? And just for women in general that are interviewing in the space, I'm curious to hear other people's experiences and thoughts. But definitely I'm gonna try to do a clip or a bun or something with my glasses and tone down my look a bit more, just to come across a bit more appealing, because I do tend to come across as super militant and put together, and maybe that's not, it's a threat. I'm not laughing. I'm unfortunately not the personality hire. I'm the get done hire, and maybe that's just been not working in my favor. So I don't know, just food for thought.
This girl will be clueless forever. Why? Why is that? Because you know what I did? I did my crime scene investigation. Look, right? She's in finance. She wants to get in finance. The other guy is a CFO in finance, right? But he didn't break everything down for her. See, me, I'm on social media, so I know what they're looking at. Number one, first thing they're looking at is your social media, right? So you got to let me cook here. Give me a second. I'm going to break this down. So, Exhibit A. What is this? You think they didn't see this? Body dysmorphia is wild, because what do you mean I thought it looked fat here? This is what they saw, right? I feel like I got to go back here, right? Because this is wild. This is your social media. Now, I like to break things down, right? Because I break it down because I look at things simply and I understand simply, just like my audience does. I mean, I'm sure you guys are complex, but I still got to cook, right? Let me tell you what I did. I talked to my best friend. You know what my best friend said? Look at the AI overview. Yes, I asked, do they look at your digital footprint and finance jobs? Yes, finance jobs in the United States do check your digital footprint, but they focus specifically on publicly available professional and personal behavior. So not that they see you and that you're looking like a man. You probably do because your shoulders are broad. So that's number one. Number two is they're looking at your digital footprint. And they're looking and going, but let me tell you, that one is a little like, it's like, but this one.
I want to take a bite out of it. I'm scared.
You see that face? You see that girl's face and her face? Look at it. Keep looking. Look at her face. Look at that jaw. Look at that muscular face. She's looking like a man, actually. And her friend looks like she's a tranny. They don't know if you are a man. They're like, no, wait a minute. We don't want that here, right? They could be thinking you are a man because you look like a man. Like, is this guy really your friend? Like, seriously. I'll tell you this, right? When they can look at your digital footprint, they don't have to have a filter. You just won't get a second interview. So there's no filter for DEI hire, nothing like that, because that's out the door. But also, not even that, right? There's no need to have a filter because they won't contact you again. But look at this right here. I got to play the whole video for you guys. Watch this.
I want to take a bite out of it.
Look like a man. Look at a friend. Look like a man.
I'm scared.
And then, yeah.
Wait, oh my God, I'm too much in my mouth. I want to try to. You can have a bite of mine. Yeah.
Yeah. Who owns this company? I'd like to speak to them.
Like, not just your mama. Okay, I don't
know.
So they're looking at this going, this might be one of them, right? We're not an equal opportunity anymore. That's how they're thinking. There's no filter for this. You have to filter this. Put this, don't show it to the world. Look, I'm not trying to dim your light. I'm not hating. Shouts out to you. You're trying to get in finance. You're going to make the bag. You got it, girl. You an independent boss queen. If a guy wants to get with a female in the West, he wants to get with you. I don't know. Maybe you look like kind of, I'm just being for real. I'm not trying to play you. I'm not hating. I want you to get your finance job. Take down your TikTok. Stop showing stuff like this because it's killing you.
A lot of workplaces love putting Black women in leadership positions after everything has completely fallen apart. The department is toxic, the staff is burnt out, the policies are outdated, the morale is an absolute hell. And all of a sudden they want us to come in and make changes to the workplace culture. In other words, they want someone that's strong enough to absorb all the chaos, but not powerful enough to make changes to the actual system that created the chaos. And the sad part is, a lot of women go into these roles thinking that they're being given a genuine leadership opportunity, not realizing that they're being handed a cleanup assignment with no support, no grace, and all the blame waiting just for your ass on standby as soon as something goes wrong. Baby, if your position sounds like this, that's not leadership development. That's called corporate trauma delegation.
Do you understand what's going on right now? It's hard. It's hard. Like, you remember that song? It's hard out here for a pimp. They ain't no one there. Man, be excited that you're getting some positions, that there's a position available for you. Because there's people out here, they're struggling. Man, and females are struggling. I got to say this. If anybody wants an opportunity, I know some of you guys going, Jay, you say this all the time, but I have to, because a lot of people do need that opportunity, right?
Y'all ever notice how a lot of workplaces love putting...
I've came this way 11 years ago, but I've been doing what I do for 15 years. And I'll give you an example. What I do is I pay people a couple of dollars an hour for them to make me thousands, right? They get paid a couple of dollars. I make thousands. And I know people out here in the Philippines doing this right now that took their company from $0 to $3 million in 3 years. Definitely reach out to me. Link in the description, and I can give you more information. And my consultation is wild because I show people within 10 minutes of speaking to me how to make that thousands of dollars immediately. So definitely reach out, especially if you're looking to get a new career or even make extra money or even move over here overseas, right? Because I always say it, and that's the name of my program. This is the way.
We should do this every day, twice a day. We should get together twice a day.
Yeah, get your money. You gotta play the role. You gotta play the role.
For work, maybe 2 to 3 times a year. So on this one trip, I booked a flight, and of course I had a corporate credit card, so I used my corporate card to book my flights. And I booked the flight using my personal Delta account, as did anyone who had a SkyMiles account. So it turned out that I had a credit on my account. My personal account, not on my corporate card, not through my employer. I had a credit on my Delta SkyMiles account. So for this particular trip, we were flying to Las Vegas, and Atlanta to Las Vegas is, I think, 4.5 hours or 4 hours flat. Either way, I consider that a long flight. So you know what I did? I upgraded my seat using the credit on my Delta account. So instead of sitting in row 28A, I moved to row 2A. My then boss asked us to send her our flight confirmations, which I did. And would y'all believe me? She emailed me back and said, "Can you come talk to me in my office?" So I pop over to her office and she says, I noticed that you're sitting in first class. First class is reserved for the executive leadership team. And so I was kind of just looking a little bit confused, mainly because there were no ELT members on this flight. They were actually taking a private jet to Las Vegas. So I didn't really understand the significance of telling me that usually the ELT sits in first class. So my logical brain says, well, she's probably assuming that you used the corporate card to upgrade your flight or to sit in first class. So I told her, oh no, I had a credit on my account. So they suggested an upgrade, so I moved up so I could be more comfortable. And she was like, yeah, it's just the optics of it. The executive leadership team, they usually sit first class, so you're gonna have to move your seat back. And for context, you guys, I was the only Black person on this team. I was one of very few Black people, in my division, period. And you know what? In retrospect, because this was over 2 years ago, I don't think that's a company policy. It can't be a company policy. I just think that was a tactic to keep me in check. You know what I mean? How dare I have the audacity to use my own money to sit higher up in the plane? You know what I mean? I'm not stopping anyone else from sitting further up. Oh no, only ELT can sit in the front. I'm sorry, do you guys own the plane? Just thinking back on some of these interactions, it is, if I knew then what I know now.
She thought the brain is switched off and it's turned to zero. When you turn the channel zero and it's, an old TV, you get nothing but static sound. That's what's happening in the brain. Why do I say that? Right? I understand what you're saying. Everybody watching understands exactly what you're saying. But what she said, it's the optics of it. And she's right? Why cause confusion? Now think about it. Your other team members that were flying with you, they probably had you seated next to each other. That was a perfect time for team building. Hold on. Who am I talking to? That's number 2, right? The optics, the first one she said, also team building. That's where you become cooler with people on your team. That's where you build relationships. You sit next to a person on a 3-hour flight, you start to get cooler with that person. Man, you got to teach. They have no idea. You know what this is what I'm talking about. I got to show it again. You're going to get it when I show you. That's what I'm talking about. You see that? You see that? But see, she is making it exhausting though. She's faking it. That's when it's exhausting. It has to be real because that's just who you are, right? But of course, you don't know those people from anywhere. But still, you're going to be cool. You're not going to be and exhausted. You're going to be cool. I guess it's because I'm from New York. We're multicultural there, right? I went to high school with white, black, Mexican, all kinds of Spanish, Indian. Everybody was in my school. So I was cool with everybody. But I guess that's what it is. I guess that's.
Y'all there? I just come out here. I'm on a break. Let me tell y'all what happened to me this morning. There's a lady that comes. She visits from our other office about every 6 to 8 months or so. I've been in my job for 3 years. 3 years. I've been sitting in the same spot for 3 years. Every time she comes in town, she sits in the same spot. She sits in the same row as me. At the end, she's always, good morning, how you doing? All of that, right? So today I walk in, being a Black woman, I got new hair, you're in corporate, people got things to say. They act like they don't know you, recognize you, all the things. Mind you, I'm the only Black girl in the row. She comes over and she's introducing herself. She's like, oh, you must be new. I said, no, I've been here 3 years. And she said, oh. And I'm thinking to myself, do you know how many meetings and luncheons we've been at together? Ugh.
Man, why did you tell that story? She just told she's been going to work looking like trash. Looking like trash and wonder why nobody wants you. Wonder why. Right? The girl that made it in corporate but thinks she deserves Tad, right? This is her. She calling on Tyrone. Tyrone is dirty. He did me wrong. These are the same girls. Blaming you, brother. They're blaming you, black man, for what Tyrone did. You didn't see me. I've been here for 3 years. She was sitting back like this. Big back, big back, big back. I didn't do that song. How that song go, Ken? Yeah, wake up. Ken over there sleeping out in the videos. It's big guy, big back, big back, big back, big back, big back. Something is on fit, pants on fit, big back. That's her. Get some help.
Won't admit and won't even talk about. Being a black woman in the corporate boardroom is exhausting. I was feeling a special kind of exhausted today after 3 days in the corporate boardroom. Any of you who've been following me, you know that since Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I've been attending corporate board meetings. And today, Thursday, was my day to recover. And it's like, why am I so tired? Why do I need this kind of recovery? It's the level of code switching that goes on. The code switching, and I think for women, there's a particular kind of code switching that goes on in the boardroom because so much of the banter is about sports. So like football and Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, like, I don't know. What's going on? I have no idea. Baseball, right? You know, I can talk about basketball a little bit, but the time you spend with people talking about things that don't relate to business is a part of building your reputation with this group of people.
Yes.
And I just find it personally really exhausting, and the amount of code switching that I have to do is very taxing. I've been doing this code switching for 40 freaking years, and I am finally saying out loud that it's exhausting. Am I the only one? Is there anybody else out there who's willing to admit, as great as it is to be in these rooms, how hard it is to be in these rooms, and how it takes a day to recover, retail therapy, whatever it is, but like I'm in recovery mode right now because of all of that. How about you?
This is terrible. You know, it's terrible. It's like you don't love just being a people person. That's what you all are saying in a way, and it's sad, right? But then you have girls that get these kind of jobs, right? And when they get these kind of jobs, this is what they expect from men because the next lady is in jobs like this.
How it's frowned upon to like have a sugar daddy or like date for money or like date rich men, but it's not the other way around. Like when you date broke men and like you're struggling. You know what I mean? Like, God forbid a girl cares about her future. And then it's like, do you get a prize? Like, just because, like, you're with a man, like, not for his money and, like, for love, I guess. Like, you don't get a prize for that. Like, do you want a cookie?
You see, she's in a corporate space as well. But look how she's still talking. This is exactly why men don't care about where you work. So girls, they like to brag, oh, well, you can't take this away from me. You can't take that away from me. Men can care less. Men care about attitude. So what's happening is these ladies, a lot of them, sad to say, I'm not trying to bash you all, but sad to say, a lot of you are not qualified because men could care less. Because a lot of you would never build with a man. You have to have it all on your own. You're selfish in a way and don't see it, right? You want a man that's rich. So what are you gonna say? What's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine. You think a man is smiling for that? He knows when he's down and out, you're not gonna cover the bills. I'm not saying you won't. I don't know you as a person. But a lot of you, bye-bye. And men are tired of that. Men are tired and sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's gotten that bad. But yeah, y'all, be sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe. That you can at least do that. It's free. And I put a lot of thought into what I do. So guys, definitely show some support. Other than that, peace out. See you next video.
The Iceman is coming!
Winter is here.